Hello, hello. Volume works. Okay. I'm gonna play some Minecraft. The plan today is to craft a mine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm doing the thing. I don't know exactly how that's gonna go, but I'm gonna try to figure something out. Oh, broken clocks. Broken clocks. Wonderful. Very wonderful song. Resource packs. Oh. The sun is setting. Little mangrove forest. I had considered that. I guess it's a different biome over in that area. It's kind of fun. Kitten cat. Cat, why did you just get stuck like that? What it? Okay. This cat really wants to go over there. My copper golems are oxidizing. Yeah, I did this little path. Connects all of that, and also connects all the way over to the barn. That is not where I am planning to do stuff today. I think I might do a stream sometime where I like kind of challenge myself to build like, I don't know, 5 structures or something. Just like whatever stuff I can think of to have more like purposeful, or to have some purposeful structures that kind of fill in the area. But yeah. I want to build a mine. And I gotta figure out roughly where I want that. Let's just try to get like a rough idea. So currently that way is the front of my house. Not that, but iron. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is much more like in front of my house than I expected, than I imagined. Might as well like farm a level while I'm here. Oh. Copper chest plate. Oh. Okay. I just realized my mic was off for a little bit there. I don't know how much I said while that was off. I was thinking I might be able to use this in some way. see. Yeah, this is where I dug out a bunch of tuff. Let's see, where does this connect to? Up here. Yeah, this could be a nice area, especially considering I've already kind of used it as a sort of mine. But yeah, I didn't stream on Thursday. Once again, I almost did. And then I don't know, I was having some difficulties with OBS. And I got it working eventually, where I could have streamed, but it was once again late, and I kind of just wasn't feeling it at that point. Diamonds. That's a nice little trait. Yeah, since I've already got this staircase dug out, I feel like I might as well make use of it. expand this to be 3 wide. Also, I'm using Silk Touch on all of this deep slate, which normally, let's see, what can you turn this into? Literally nothing. You can't even put it in there. So currently, regular deep slate is kind of pretty bad to have for the most part. If you want the cobbled version, which is what you need for building stuff, you have to place it and break it again with a non-pickaxe, non-silk touch pickaxe. However, in the upcoming drop, they're making it so that normal stone and deep slate can both be used to, can both be put in stone cutters to make their cobbled variants, and in deep slate's case, to make, you know, like all of the variants, all of the different types. So yeah, that's gonna be like way better. And in deep slate's case, it'll only be a slight improvement. In stone's case, I think it'll be just like a pretty much objectively better to have just normal stone rather than cobblestone. Yeah, for deep slate, it'll be less of an improvement, but still better. So what if if I just keep mining up like this, surely I'm gonna hit some kind of cave. Right? Oh, cool. I'm starting to think I might not hit a cave. That's kind of fine though if I don't. copper. I've started replaying Dark Souls 3 recently in my own time. That's been fun. Oh gosh. Wait, this isn't... No, this is just some random thing. Some random thing wherever. But yeah, oh, I hear farm animals. Now that's interesting. Okay, you know, I kind of dig that. Path might need to be adjusted a little bit, but that's kind of nice. Yeah, one of my brothers has been playing through Dark Souls 3 for the first time recently. He's the one that originally got me into Dark Souls, as well as Minecraft and like most of my favorite games. Most if not all, to be honest. And yeah, he fairly recently, he got me into Dark Souls, but never actually started playing it himself. So he's finally been doing that, starting a little while back with Dark Souls 1, and then he played through Dark Souls 2, and has now been playing Dark Souls 3. And he's been busy with some other stuff, but he's now pretty much finished with Dark Souls 3, so I suppose it's about time that I start replaying it as well. I I played through it multiple times in the past. I don't recall exactly how much. Okay, so this is gonna go 2 to the left, so it's definitely gonna cut into that path. But that's fine. It might even be preferable for that path to curve around more. As for this huge cave that I managed to miss... Oh. Let's see, just for starters, you know, I feel like this should connect to the big cavern under my base, since it's almost certainly going like right next to it. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of digging. Here. Like I said, this is just the ravine. Then you go up this way. House is facing that way, so the path is going up that way. And yeah, I guess it does. It is right around where the cavern ends, which is kind of convenient because I think that means it'll have. It's a bit easier to connect into here that way. Creeper. Bad creeper. I wish I had my barometer concept in the game. This little thing on my hip. 'Tis a copper device that tells you your elevation. and maybe has something to do with weather, because I think that's more typically how barometers are used. Oh, where was I keeping my oars? I guess in here. Fair enough. Oh, is that? That is so silly. I think the 3D torches are an especially nice little detail. I mean, it's like this is basically what the item texture typically looks like, but like extruded. See, so it was over here. Yeah. I guess technically the path doesn't currently need to move. But I will want to move it. I do hope I have the correct side of this. I'm pretty sure I do. Like 90% confident. There's a very small chance I get to the bottom and it's not. And honestly, at that point, it might be worth just, like, keeping this size the rest of the way. Like, keeping it on this side. But yeah, no, I'm sure when I get to the bottom, it'll be correct. But yeah, I really don't want to use coordinates, but it's so difficult to keep track of your exact elevation without it. Like, there's just nothing for that in the game. Even a lodestone, like, you can see horizontally where you are, but there's nothing for verticality. I hope that's something Mojang is aware of. Not just aware of, but like aware of as an issue. I don't know if this is currently tall enough for what I want to do, because I don't just want this to be a huge staircase. I think I actually want to have like a proper minecart that goes up and down. That would be fun. And then so I'm probably going to have a minecart going up on either side. Maybe for up and down, or maybe one side is for like a minecart with a chest or something like that. And in the middle will be just like a normal staircase, I think. Might have to get a little bit clever with the mine entrance design at the top, because I want to do, well, the general idea I keep thinking of is like the game. Oh, I connected up. Yeah. The game Clash of Clans. I haven't played it in a long while, but it has some like resource collection buildings, including a gold mine for gold, of course. And just like that kind of design of kind of like a almost like a mound like structure that is just an entrance to a mine. And maybe that's fairly typical for a mine entrance, but yeah, that kind of thing is what I would like to go for. Let's see. So the cavern more so faces this way, same way that my house is faced. So if I just get to the correct level and mine that way, I would probably get to it. Or similarly, if I can just get lined up generally with this in the cavern, and then mine in this direction, then, well, this goes all the way, so I should be able to line up with it that way. Did I mess that one up? So it'd be that. So yeah. That is 4 tall. Yeah, I guess I just missed that. Okay. So this is about where the mine is currently. I think it's like around here. doesn't pass through this. I wonder how close it gets to this, though. Because it probably does pass by it. Oh no. Here, let's just, let's try this. So this doesn't tell me height, but it does give me like a pretty good idea. I guess not perfect, but pretty good idea of where the mine is. Oh. Yeah, that lodestone is under me right now. Okay. So this should be right in the middle. Wow, must be a ways under there. Right in between these two, grass block and this pillar. So if I you know, I think this is probably a pretty good spot for it. I want to keep it fairly flat, so And I can do something about this. Yeah, in theory, if I just dig through this way, well, no, that's not what I was expecting to find. It might take a little bit. Right, yeah. There we go. Now, I don't know how I want to go about these levels. Yeah, this will line up. This will line up with the cavern. Yeah, ideally, if I'm gonna have minecarts going through, there should be like some kind of way that I can control which level I stop at. It'd be easier if I had these. If I had this like stick out a bit and then continue going down. But that's not... That requires more planning, which doesn't feel like it fits this sort of thing. So... Well, I should definitely raise this up. I think I want this to be like a fairly typical mine shaft. And then let's do the same thing here. theory, this one shouldn't. Yeah, this one definitely shouldn't be as long. I am so very low on space. But there we go. Yeah, I might just have this be one track going down in favor of some kind of system for changing direction. How's my stone storage is pretty full, I see. Well, yeah, let's do that. For diamond ore, what do I get? I got 4 diamonds. And I left my ender chest down there. I'm gonna need a bunch of iron. Oh, leaving my ender chest is actually really inconvenient now that I think about it. I think I just need to go back for it. I wanted to get that, get a bunch of iron smelting up, but I keep trying to think of the things I need to try to do it like as efficiently as I want to, and it's just like the stuff's in my ender chest. Yeah, it's definitely worth mining that extra block so that you don't hit your head. That is so interesting. That lodestone compass won't update as long... with my tongue. As long as I keep it in a bundle. If it even gets moved into this ender chest, it'll probably update and realize that it doesn't... The lodestone that it's pointing to is gone. But until then... It is dark. Oh yeah, I was talking about the mine entrance earlier. With this placement... Ow! Was that a punch or was that just like... Actually hit me. I think that is punch. Skeleton also may have... the skeleton hit me like as I jumped, so it had really good... It got some really good knockback on me from that. But, yeah, I think it may have had punch on the bow. Yeah, so typically I would design the mineshaft entrance so the front is facing this way, but with how this is set up, I probably want it facing this way, you know, like towards the path, which this path will be, well, most likely I'll move it out this way more. And so I'll have to design the mine shaft so it's like more of a sideways thing, which that should be fine. Worst case, it'll be like a bit of a wider mine shaft or mine or whatever. Oh, they're still working over here. It is a lot that's in there, to be fair. Chest, hopper. Do I need 2 hoppers? Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. So get another chest. It's only 5 iron. Why do I always think 7? Even without the chest, it's only 6. I don't know, maybe because it's in a vaguely similar shape as like a cauldron. Let's do this. For now, I can keep it pretty simple and just do that. Even make it extra fancy looking and have it connecting to that. which won't do anything. I don't think there's any circumstance where I would smelt something that could be used as fuel. Especially not when I'm smelting something from a blast furnace. I don't think that's possible that anything could be smelted into fuel. So it would never leave this furnace. That just looks a bit nicer. Okay. So I already have a lot of iron, but I've got even more on the way. I don't know if I'm really gonna need all of that, to be fair. I was wondering why my gold was split up like that. But yeah, I guess it's... I want to keep the ender chest fairly low so that while I'm mining, I can add to this without filling it up super quick. Yeah, gonna smelt up some more, or some gold as well. I'll need a block of coal for that. Yeah, I'll need a bunch of powered rails. Specifically to be able to go back up. That is, of course, important. Hey, they emptied it out. And they emptied that out. Nice. You know, it doesn't necessarily take much time to go through and sort things. But it is nice not having to really think about it. Well, I think... let's see. Yeah, I can worry about the more complicated bits of this later. For now, let's just get a railway in place. Oh. Needing iron blocks would be insane. Truly. That took me a second to realize I was using a hoe to attempt to mine that. Why is this smaller? Just in case, I'm gonna add 4 more. If there's 4 raw iron left over, no big deal. However, if I'm not 100% efficient, then I will cry. It's a little bit ridiculous. There's also the possibility of like having this mine turn at some point. This mountain, you know, it's very long this way. So like that wouldn't really work unless I had it go the other way. I had it go this way. And then, you know, it wouldn't have to go up as high and I would have more like horizontal room. So I could have done something like that. Having the mine over there, for instance, could be nice. And maybe I make that change at some point. But this is fine. I don't just want to fill these gaps in with stone. I want to, you know, I want to properly lean into the aesthetic here. maybe I should be placing maybe I should be placing all these rails that I crafted. You know, crazy thought. I was thinking, I kept imagining that, like, if I did only have one rail, it would be on this side. But considering the entrance will be here, I might have it here instead, on this side. What if... Yeah, I don't know how that's all gonna work out. I'm gonna try to figure something out. Well, I feel like none of this should be dirt. I think that's a, you know, I think that's a reasonable assessment. Oh, missed a couple. Why did I get it? I got it. Wow. It doesn't quite reach all the way down, but you know, I'm gonna need powered rails regardless, so So that's fine. And this does give me more of an idea of where I can stick my fishing pond. Well, oh, you know what? Literally just this. Like, it's already there. Redstone. Now, I'm not sure if this is close enough to the spawner. That is a concern. But like, that just feels too perfect. I expected that to insta-mine, but I suppose it does not. necessarily want this to be a perfect circle like it kind of was. Do I want to bring this up another layer? I probably do. Oh. Yeah, maybe I'll keep that. Yeah, it's a pretty good size little pond. Oh, maybe I want that iron actually. So much rotten flesh. That's why I've got these other two chests that have yet to be filled at all. Well, I need the powered rails in place so that I can actually go up. But this is quite lovely so far. I don't know if lovely is necessarily the word for it, but it's nice to have this in any case. I don't have to go through that whole awkward path anymore. Of course, a Bubble Vader would have been a much simpler method. But I don't think that's quite as interesting. Come to think of it, where's my fishing rod again? It's not being kept in here. It should be. I just finished rewatching season 1 of Fiona and Cake. That was fun. I quite enjoyed that show. I'm excited to check out season 2. Is it raining up there? It might be. Yeah. Sky Color just had that kind of feel about it. Where did the honeycomb go? Oh. It went up. Yeah. It was 5 full stacks. I don't know what happened with like why one of those stacks of iron was missing a few. I guess it's because as I was adding them, they were constantly being pulled out, and so I was adding back into the earlier stack. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I was shift clicking them in. Okay. I smelted up all this iron for rails. I really didn't need that much. But on the bright side, I have a bunch more iron smelted up now. So that's good. Oh, right. I need a redstone. I think, yeah. Oh, wow. That is considerably more expensive. The normal rails you get 16 per 6 ingots. But the powered rails it's 1 per ingot. Okay, well that's probably not going to be enough. Actually, yeah, I'll do another 2 crafts of it. $24. For redstone torches. Keeping the glow like in there in Le Bundle. I have even more iron. Let's see, what was I doing in the with enchanting last time? Books maybe? Or the armor? I don't know why I said books. I could try for the boots. I don't know. Kitty purring. So sweet. For now, I'm going to try to do this as efficiently as I can. I don't have a button. I also don't have a minecart. Wow. Oh, that is so much stone. Oh, I need 2 buttons. Oh yeah, I forgot about my little button textures. I like that. I've also got one for the pressure plate. Yeah. I have no need for those though at this moment. Okay, what if I do like 1, 2, 3, 4, every 5? Here, I can test this. Whoa. It seems like it barely makes it, but it does seem to make it, which is the important part. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this time, see, that's why you gotta test things. So probably needs at least two. Yeah. Which unfortunately means I'm definitely not making it all the way down. I was vaguely hopeful that I might but no. No, that is not going to happen. Oh, I can probably at least spread these out more. So yeah, still do 4 in between. Two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then let's try another test. Yeah, it does seem to work. I definitely want to I definitely want to improve this. What if I did just 1? But yeah, I'll probably improve this by simply adding a 3rd rail to each section. Yeah, just 1 seems good. And since we've got another one, let's just for one of these, let's test. Actually, not for this first one. That one. Yeah, that's a lot smoother. There's still like a small delay. Definitely a lot better. Okay, so walking up, still gonna be painful until I get all those powered rails in, but time being, I can at least use that to go down. And that's lovely. That's just lovely. Yeah, if I was to make any suggestions for improving minecart transportation, I mean, I think there's a lot of ways they could improve it, and I'm not... Oh wait, let's put all these torches in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I don't think I can count and talk at the same time. Yeah, I don't know exactly what all they should do for minecarts. Minecart improvements, or the minecart experiments were definitely like promising. I don't know how exactly they should implement those things. But yeah, very like simple thing they could do, because I know one of the problems with it is that it is it's transportation that you have to set up, and it has like a cost to do that. And honestly, the rails themselves don't seem that bad. You get over double the amount of rails as iron ingots that you put in. You know, they could potentially make it even more generous by changing that to nuggets or something like that. But I think the biggest thing would just be making powered rails have the same cost. Huh. Would you look at that? Now, I did have like pretty much exactly enough rails, enough powered rails, if I only needed one per section. Although that's not necessarily true, because I started with just one, and it was every 4. Or it was 4 blocks between each one, so that was 5 blocks between. Yeah, let's see if my counting was good all the way through. I messed up once, but I caught it. Hopefully there weren't any instances where I messed up and didn't catch it. 2, 3, 4, 5. messed up my counting just barely, but not when placing them. Nice. So I was kind of able to count and talk. Well done, me. Now, I'm kind of wanting to head off, but I think I should at least try to design this this mine entrance. Oh. This one's oxidized a little further. I have rails somewhere, right? Yeah. Yeah, I already had a few. Get all the gold I smelted up. Now I wonder if this is gonna be enough. I didn't think to try to count how much I needed. I don't want to do too much. But let's try rough estimate. I mean, it's 3 per section, and it's probably at least 10, probably more. So I mean, we could try for around 30. Or exactly 30. Exactly 30 works too. Oh, this is such a mess. Well, I guess not that much of a mess. call me tough. I could definitely use other blocks, like maybe some deep slate. I'll start with just tough though. Okay, so I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I think if I try to cover this whole area with just like one little structure or one structure, it's probably going to be a bit awkward, because if I make it shallow, then it being so front wide would be strange, I think. So I could give it more depth, and that might be fine, but then it would still be kind of awkward where like it's only really here that you stand, but I still want to cover this area without making it shallower, I guess, like without putting blocks too much over here. So I think I'm thinking I do a smaller front here, and then maybe a bit of a larger structure that connects to it back here. And that could be more of like a storage house. Yeah, probably just like storage. And I think that would probably be good. Hello, chicken. Well, let's just do rough shapes for now. Just try to do something. Oh, that's a little awkward, isn't it? Maybe out to here. it might be something. Crate bar. Where did you spawn? Spawn over here and just wander up? Probably. Maybe this secondary building is a bit overambitious at the moment. I just don't really know what I'm wanting to do with that. I might like the idea, but I'm very much blanking on it. It doesn't help that I'm out of blocks. I can of course easily go grab some more, but yeah, well. That's kind of interesting. Hum, hum. here. Maybe getting somewhere. If I want to do it like that, I should probably swap those. I don't think I like that though. I don't know what to do with this. Well, that might help. Yeah. I don't know if maybe I want to do something like that. Maybe. Maybe all of this should be bricks. Except maybe the corners. Oh. I don't mind that actually. Oh. Okay. I think I think we got there in the end. I went very silent for most of that. Yeah. Need 5 more of these. Accidentally broke some short grass. Kind of liked that there. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting little design. Wow, I got those pretty far actually. Okay. Oh yeah, I based the amount of these I crafted on the 3. Which I did not have enough for, but with the 2s, that was great. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need the 3. But this does work. And I brought materials for more powered rails in case I needed them. So let us make some more. Oh, right, there's a button for that. Yeah, let's try 16. How far does this get me? I did notice when I went over the one that did have 3, that one. It's definitely a bit smoother. Of course, I already knew that. This is not only extending the amount of powered rails, but it's also shortening the distance between the powered rails. Okay, 16 was not quite enough. Oh, I can probably count how many more I need from here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that one is extra, so 6. Oh, that's kind of interesting. I'll need more later, but yeah, I used an exact amount throughout this entire thing. Okay. Let's see how this feels. Oh. Once it gets going, there's like hardly any slowing down. That's pretty good. I am curious if maybe it was slightly off somewhere. I don't think so. I think it just takes a little bit to like really get consistent, like kind of level out the pace. But yeah, it sure does. That's very lovely. I'm gonna replace all of this ground with some polished tuff. And some other time I'll probably like fill in all of this dirt area with a lot more tuff and stone and whatnot. Again, I didn't bring enough tuff with me to really properly like experiment and build. I can definitely do. I'm getting this. I'm all over the place right now. I can definitely do a little bit more though. Just so that's like touch more coherent from the outside especially. I might replace this area with just like normal tuff, maybe same with this. And it'll just go down to the stone, I think. Is there anything we can do about that grass? I might extend this section. I kind of like it being smaller than this, so I don't know if I want to do that. But I might extend that just so that I can replace this grass. Or maybe I could have like a kind of outer layer of tuff on the ground. That's also an idea. Anyways, yeah. I think this came out rather nicely. I definitely struggled with it for a little bit, but I got it eventually. Should I do the same kind of design on the front? Or should I do the same kind of design in the back as what I have on the front? Maybe? I don't really know if I want to. This isn't quite answering my question. Yeah, I think this pillar is important. This one obviously is the entrance, but this frames out the entrance to the mine, which I think is very good to have. So I'm thinking I could make these stairs like what I have on the front. And that would give the back a little more shape and might be a bit nicer. Yeah, let's grab these to test. I'm being really stubborn about not wanting to go back and grab more materials right now, even though oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. There we go. Even though it's a very short trek. Yeah, let's go for it. Screenshot. I could make this tough. I don't want it, I wouldn't want it to blend too much with all of this though, and I'm kind of using all of the tough blocks around it. Like it would basically have to just be chiseled tough. Which I can certainly try. Maybe polished tough at the base. It's not bad. I think I do prefer it just being a different block entirely. Well, I like that. Yeah. Oh. Or did I have these? No. Yeah, I didn't have these. Okay. I'm glad I checked. Let's see. 48 gold rails is what I needed. Now, after just being so stubborn about not just coming back here and grabbing more tough, I think I'm just gonna do it anyways. That was strange. Hmm. Ooh, coal. If I don't grab this coal, it's gonna get buried forever. Small chance that I might... Oh, and copper. Small chance that I might remember it, but is not very likely. Okay, this is 1, 2, 5, 8. Yeah, I think that's good. It's good for this part to be polished. Then maybe all of this. Yeah, I think this being polished is good, but the rest of it I like as regular tough. The ceiling is still an issue. Again, it's just those 3 blocks. The rest of it, not an issue, but those 3 blocks is right here. So either I have to do something about that, which could be as simple as extending this out, or I just leave that as dirt, which really isn't that big of a deal. I don't know. I probably will just leave it, at least for the time being. But yeah, the walls at least are looking a lot nicer, I think. I wonder how consistent these torches are. So far, they're consistently 1 further than the redstone. As in, like, each time they get a block further away from the redstone torch. One, 2, 3, 4. Ah, that one's gonna mess that up a bit. But yeah, that was... I definitely had like a rhythm going, especially towards the end. Maybe all the way through. Well, I say rhythm, more like a pattern. I was basically placing the torches like once it got, or like a block above it being pitch black, maybe? I don't know. I was trying to be like realistically efficient about it. The most efficient would be to go a little past where you can't see anything, or like where a little past light level 0, because you know, if you place a torch once you get to light level 0, then both torches' total spans are intersecting. But if you go a little past light level 0, then you can minimize their intersection. Probably not negate it completely. They do spread light in like a diamond shape after all. But you can minimize it. Which I think is worth it when lighting up the above ground to try to do that. But underground, light level 0 again means basically you can't see at all. And that's not particularly fun for gameplay, nor for watching, I think. Oh. Missed a bit of nether wart. Okay, well... maybe a bit of a simpler project today. But we now have a mine shaft. Or not a mine shaft. We have a mine entrance. And a much quicker, simpler way of getting down to my XP farm. Hehehe. Oh yeah, and also I might be able to do a little bit of fishing while I'm down here. I'm not positive. I should probably just search up how close the range is for zombie spawning, for zombie spawner. Or spawner spawning, I guess. Zombies are probably irrelevant. With how much I use this path, I should probably turn this into something. Like, this isn't intended as a path, but you know, I'm never gonna go like all the way around here. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. I have done it on occasion, but it's more because I happen to be going that way for whatever reason. I'm not sure how I feel about... It's kind of hard to see them, but these... Or the fact that this is like... these darker pixels on my pants here are 4 long. I did do that intentionally, but I think it's maybe a bit awkward looking. I'm probably gonna try changing it back to just 2 in the middle. One at either end of the legs. See if I do prefer that. I'm sleepy. My sleep schedule continues to be not very good. I'll try to go to bed earlier tonight in the hopes of remedying that. But oh, it's so hard sometimes. I know that I'm not getting more time out of the day because I'm taking away time from tomorrow. But so often it's like I get to the end of the day and then it's like now I feel like I'm just kind of getting going on things. It's like it feels easier to be productive at the end of the day. And so it's hard to want to end the day. But I also know that like the start of the day tends to feel really good. Like particularly before noon. Those early morning hours. Or not necessarily early morning, but just morning hours. Tend to feel very good. I don't know. It might not be a bad idea to just accept the later schedule, but I do need it to be consistent if I do that. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see, I was talking last time about how if Mojang were gonna do anything about the baby humanoid models, that it would most likely be the next snapshot, which I believe was this past week. And I was correct that is when they changed them. Specifically, the baby zombies. They shrunk their heads down to 6x6 from 8x8, and they also scaled the armor down on the baby zombies. Don't know about the baby zombie villagers. Probably the same. Oh, Tess. Precious kitten cat. I think she wants out of my room. I've had my door closed. Well, she wants the door open. I don't know if she actually wants to leave. But yeah, so same model as, or same texture anyways, as the zombified piglin babies. Or just piglin babies, I guess. So it's still technically a, one size fits all. That was kind of their goal with the baby armor. But they have it scaled down a little bit for the normal zombies. Which I think scaled down in this instance means it is actually pixel accurate. Because normally armor is scaled up, and I think it is for the baby piglins. Yeah, so I think they have it at a normal scale for the regular baby zombies, because the armor is already bigger than them. Which that seems like a good solution to things, I think. It's like, that's probably a good solution. Yeah, I know, Kitty. I'll get to you soon. She's really giving me an earful. I don't know if my mic is picking up her meows at all, but she sure is yapping. But yeah, I might have preferred the old, not old, but like the first iteration of the new baby zombie model with the bigger head. I thought it was kind of charming, kind of cute, kind of goofy. Now it feels more like just a mini zombie, or even like a zombie, like a toy zombie or something. Which isn't necessarily bad. I think the bigger head had more charm, but maybe it's a worthwhile change if the community was really going to be that upset about it. I don't know for sure that they were, but I don't know. There's been 3 major instances now, I think, of Mojang listening to the community over something, or like actively, like they make a certain change to something that the community really doesn't like, so they go back on it to some extent, or like come up with something different. And all 3 instances, I think what Mojang was going for was a little better. It's a crazy concept. I think the developers are better at developing the game than the community. It doesn't mean they're always right, or that the community can't be right about something. But the instances where there has been change from the community throwing a fit. Like I don't think they were necessarily correct, but A is all right. It has also created a weird thing where the baby zombie villager heads, those didn't change at all. They were already a little bit smaller, like depth-wise, than the baby zombies. So like width is 8 pixels wide. The heads are the baby villager heads are 8 pixels wide, but the depth is like 6 or 7. It's a little bit smaller. So that, I think that definitely helps them to feel a bit more normal, a little less extreme. But now that the baby zombie heads are scaled down, the baby villager heads are like way bigger. And maybe that's fine. The villager heads are bigger, but normally the adult villager heads, because they're taller. But it's maybe a tad strange. I don't know. In any case, I think they've done a very good job with all the baby mobs. I'm quite happy with this upcoming drop. As like relatively simple as it is, I think it's a really good thing for the game. And I think people aren't gonna see it as a big impactful thing, but like, even if they don't recognize it, they probably will feel the impact of it. Probably not gonna see any big changes in snapshots for the remainder of this drop. But Minecraft Live should be announced next week, probably. And then that'll be... Of course, we don't know when exactly, but should be in March, I think. Probably like end of March, but should be next month, probably. And that is very exciting. I've seen maybe just one person point out, but maybe I may have seen some other people mention it afterwards, but one person in particular I saw point out gameplay devs this drop haven't really done anything. Not to say that they're not doing anything. Actually, in fact, that's kind of the whole point. They're probably doing something, but nothing really this drop. It's almost entirely been the art team has been doing this whole drop, because like it's just models and textures basically. There's one little gameplay thing with the golden dandelion. Also, I guess craftable name tags, but like those things are kind of it. So I don't know. My theory has been major update every 2 years, and this summer will have been 2 years since Tricky Trials. But also, I might just be wrong on that, and it might just be like we see some kind of major initiative every summer. Because last year we did get vibrant visuals, and that was a big thing. It didn't feel as big of a thing I think for multiple reasons, like Java hasn't gotten it yet, which is a really big reason, but also when they announced it, it was so big of a thing. I didn't think it was happening that drop. I didn't think it was happening that summer. I was shocked that Bedrock got vibrant visuals that same drop with the Happy Cast. So, I mean, yeah, we might get some big thing like that every summer, which would be kind of crazy. It hasn't felt like that so far, that like that's the expectation, to still get some kind of major initiative like that every year, but that might be the goal. I don't know. Regardless, yeah, I'm very interested to see what they've got for this year's summer drop. And with that, I really should tend to my kitty cat. She's throwing a fit. 3.5 hour stream, pretty good. Yeah. Well, I shall see you later.